Good evening, and welcome to a new era at Assetto Friends. For 3 seasons over 12 months we've raced with the Lotus Exos in the Premier Class, but now is the time for a new car and a new challenge, the RSS Formula 3. Qualifying is just getting underway. We'll explain what the RSS Formula 3 has to offer over the Exos, but we've got to deal with this carnage in qualifying first. 15 minutes ahead of us, followed by a 44-lap race. Our first round is here at Melbourne in Albert Park. Good start for some of the drivers. That is Phil going off at just before T9. Just about to start seeing the first few drivers start their flying laps. Lowy is the first one to start his lap. So let's take a look at him. Into turn 1 for the first time. These cars have a smaller fuel tank at 80 litres, meaning refuelling will be a must for this race. There's also tightened tyre rules. We have 2 compounds instead of the 4 we had in the Exos last season. We have the option tyre with the red band that you'll see most of the drivers using, if not all of them, in qualifying. There's a lot of curb there. And the white-walled prime tyre that will last a lot longer than the options, and will be the tyre you'll see most people use in the race. Both compounds of tyre must be used during the race, and obviously that means a mandatory pit stop. The fuel tank will only last, 80 litres will only last around about 30 laps around here. That might be slightly less. Let's see Lowy go through turn 12. Hopefully there's the option of a 1-stop or even a 2-stop that produce roughly the same amount of time. We'll get into the strategy a little bit later on and the deltas between the tyres and what possible strategies could be used in the race today. And here we go for the first proper time of the new AF1 season. We've got Lowy, our reigning 2-time AF1 champion, coming out the final corner. We're looking around about times in the 136s, 137s. And Lowy's first time is 138.381. Grip is still relatively low, relatively speaking, at about 96-97%. So times won't be at their optimum so far. DK goes second, half a second off. Collins third with a 0.6 of a second down. And Denoya fourth with 1.1 seconds down. That's a 139.4. Good time from Dirty. Kaya Khan Tuna, 4 tenths down on Lowy there. 5 relatively representative times so far being set. Seems to be relatively clean so far in quali. Seen Dunn has just got going again. Oh no, that's just his ping. His ping sucks. We've had Jake Fimes just had a spin at turn 12 there. He's gone back to the pits. And Denoya's just slowing down just as he comes out the pits there. We also have tightened DRS rules. Our app is better for regulating DRS, so hopefully it'll all be legal and we'll see some excellent overtakes. DRS is much more powerful in these cars than it was in the Exos, plus you can actually see when they open, so it should be excellent to see. We'll see everything that drivers can do, all the strategies. There goes Fern for a spin at turn 6. There's 10 minutes left to go in qualifying, and Lowy has a 4 tenths of a second lead over this man. Whoa! Using all the curb on the exit of the final corner. Kaya Khan Tuna in the Turkish Torpedoes car. Turkish Torpedoes being the reigning AF1 teams champions alongside Daniel Ricciardo. I think Beauty's had a spin at turn... Yeah, there's Beauty. He's facing the wrong way on the exit of turn 2, and he's joining the battle. Oh, that's close. Almost came together with a with one of the Skoda cars. We have 15 teams in this season. I'll point out all the cars to you as we see them. This is Martin Beauty. He is in the NVIDIA Racing Team car, alongside Karatko, the number 14 car, and my game has just frozen. There we go. All sorted. There's Lantin a long way off into turn 1. I wonder what happened there. Let's hope he rejoins fairly safely. He's gone to the left. Oh, there's another crash. It's Paulson, and Callum Dunn's gone off. Currently P11. He's gone off at turn 12. It's home race for him, the Australian, in the Dead Bull racing car. That's I like that pun. I really like that pun. Callum Dunn is there alongside Charles Bertrand. Currently P24 without a representative lap time. We've had the top 18 all set representative lap times so far, I would say. Arguably. Garcia a bit lower down. Callum Dunn maybe in the way of Karatko, the number 14 NVIDIA racing car. Is Ben Collins in the Team Speedo car, the blue and white car. All of the liveries this year look amazing. Speedo sponsored by Team Charged, who you'll also see in AF2 and AF3. But no Team Charged in this series, only Team Speedo. Andrade with a good lap there, P7 with a 1 minute 39.4. Collins there, 1.5 tenths down on pole position so far. It's a personal best. He's 4 tenths down on pole at the minute in the standings. There goes Phil into P8 with a 39.7 and then immediately stops on track as one of the Imrax racing cars in the red and white that's had a spin and possibly doing a bad rejoin. That's Lantern. Oh no, it's Imran Shaikh, sorry, currently 25th, yet to set a representative lap time. Here comes Ben Collins around the final corner with 6 minutes left in quali. It's not going to be particularly fast. It looks like it's going to be over the 1 minute 40 mark. It's a 1 minute 43.503, so no improvement there. He's actually 4.7 seconds down in the first sector. Let's take a look at Colin Backer. He's coming around the final corner to finish his lap. Or was that to start his lap? I have no idea. He's just set an out lap. De Neuer is just parked on the inside waiting for people to come by him. He might want to get a move on, otherwise he's going to get in the way of Raffaelli. And Colin Backer spun at turn 1 and he's going to be in the way there. He's just teleported back to the pit lane. Fabio Raffaello has had to go back to the pits as well. Here's Dirty. He's just about to start his flying lap. Here we go. No traffic ahead of him, other than maybe Lowy, who's just come out the pits. There he is. Still a relatively tight field. Between 2nd and 6th is very tight. Separated by about half a second. But still, no one matching our reigning champion, Lowy. Everybody bar a couple out on track with just 5 minutes left to go in qualifying. We can head out now and probably have 2 last cracks at a good time. A little wide through turn 6 for Tuna. Next challenge is turn 9. No sausage on the inside, so you can take a lot of curb if you want to. He's not going to do that. He looks fairly calm through there. Out of turn 10. It's almost like he's building up to it. He's building up to a fast lap. I believe that's Jake Feimster's had a spin at turn 9 there. Still no time for Feimster. So 42-0 for Manuel Gutierrez. Juan Manuel Gutierrez. Next will be Mario Fonseca. He improves to P11. Sounds like he's eased back, but I'm not sure. Fortuna. He's now P3 as Collins goes to P2. He's only a tenth and a half down. Number 22 car. Miguel Michelena, the spun. Towards the end of the lap. He's got going again, but that's not going to help. His tyre's going to be overheating. He's got a little bit of a toe, as Tuna. But it's a 38.7, no improvement so far. DK goes faster than Tuna as well. Goes to P3 with a 138.572. That's 2 tenths off of Lowy. Matt Smith, and to the top of the times goes Martin Beauty with a 38.2. A tenth and a half onto pole. Unbelievable. Out of seemingly nowhere. Beauty has looked strong. He's instantly gone off at turn 1. But he's looked strong late on this week. And it's all come together. He's going to be incredibly happy with that pole position. With 3 minutes left to go in qualifying, Lowy has got to put it all together. He's 2.5 tenths up. In fact, I think that's even 4 tenths up. No, as Collins goes for pole. A 38.0. I think the track's starting to heat up a bit more. The grip's starting to improve. Lowy is 4 tenths up on Collins' first sector time. Collins and Beauty, here's the top 2. Lowy in 3rd and DK 4th. He's still a tenth and a half up after the second sector. Or was that another tenth and a half up? I honestly don't know if these are cumulative. Who you got for pole? 2 minutes left. Will it be Collins, Beauty, Lowy, or someone else entirely? Who's going to pull it out of the bag? Lowy's got a good run. He's done well for the final 2 sectors. He's got someone in the way in the Skoda car. That's Simon Novak in the Skoda, and I think a couple of people. There's quite a bit of a... Tuna goes P3 with a 38.3. And Lowy over the line. I think his lap got invalidated. Somewhere on his lap got invalidated. He's only got 1, maybe 2 more chances at a pole position. He remains P4. Let's have a look at Andrea De Neuer. Heading to turn 12 it looks relatively calm. I think he's just trying to take it easy through there. He's currently P6, 9 tenths of a second down. Mario Fonseca went off briefly. He's gone off again. That's up at turn 9, I think. Karatko next over the line. No improvement that time. Beauty will be next. He's got people in the way. Don't block the corner. He's all good, but that's... Oh, I feel so bad for Beauty. That's his pole time lost. Because one of the Marx racing cars with the Portuguese flag on the front, the red and white, just... I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for Beauty. But it's Daniel Ricciardo on pole position by 800th of a second. He was down in the bottom, like in the 20th position or so. Beauty's just retired. Has he just left the server? Beauty might have just left the server. He's just dropped down on our standings to P25. But his lap time is still in there. Daniel Ricciardo currently has pole position for Turkish Torpedoes. Lowy goes to the top by 9 tenths of a second. He's blown him out of the water. It's all over. 3 seconds to go. It's all over. Benjamin Garcia will go next over the line. I think it goes P17 as qualifying ends. Next over the line will be Raffaello and DK. Raffaello is less likely to get a higher position than DK is, to be honest. Improves to 17th. Beauty returns, will move back into P4. DK crossed the line, but I don't think he made an improvement because it didn't count. Contreras will be next. No improvement from him. Karatko next. His time's looking strong. No improvement there. Michelena currently P16. 2.8 down. Any improvement there? No improvement. Only by a tenth though. De Neuer over next. De Neuer goes P2. Next over the line will be Bertrand, Charles Bertrand. It's 5.2 seconds down at the minute. No improvement. No improvement for Dunn either. Paulson goes P12. Phil next goes P8. And no improvement for Collins. No improvement for Collins. He goes P4. Fern will stay P17. Gutierrez will be next. In the Poor Energy Racing car, the black and gold car that's supposed to look like a Haas, it looks more like the 2015 Lotus. Not nice. Jake Feimster, one of the last ones to cross the line, does improve to P18. But it is the reigning champion, Lowy, that takes pole for the first race in the new season, Season 4. Andrea Di Noia will start P2, Daniel Ricciardo P3, Ben Collins P4, Martin Beauty P5, Kaya Khan Tuna P6, DK 7th, Phil Minimi 8th, Matt Smith 9th, Colin Backer 10th, and Karatko 11th is your top 10 there. So let's take a look at the tyre compounds we have for today's race. We have the red-walled option tyre and the white-walled prime tyre. The options, obviously, the fastest and the softest driver. And the prime tyres, we're looking at around about 1.7 seconds per lap slower at the start of the stints. For strategies, we're looking at roughly these sorts of stops. For one stop, we're looking at option start. If you're starting on the options, we're stopping around lap 15 to 18. The tyres can last quite a long time if you take care of them. A two-stop strategy would be pitting on lap 10, pushing a lot more on the option tyres, and then pitting again on lap 30 to 34 for a second set of option tyres. We are 2 minutes away from the race. That's me. I'm not in this race. Pole position for Lowy there on the front. We should see soon who's starting on what tyre. Seeing coming through Ricciardo starting on the primes, Beauty and Tuna on the primes, Phil on the primes, Andrade prime, Karatko, Lantern. Who else? Feimster, Fonseca, Fern in 18th, Rafaela 19th, Gutierrez 20th, Callum Dunn 21st, Garcia and Contreras 23rd, 24th, all on prime tyres. Same for Simon Novak and Charles Bertrand, all on prime tyres it looks like. Everyone else on the option tyres. So a reminder of the grid. With about a minute left to go until the start of the race. 44 laps ahead of us. It's Lowy on pole. Andrea Di Noia is second, followed by Daniel Ricciardo. Ben Collins 4th, Martin Beauty 5th, Kaya Khan Tuna 6th, DK 7th, the winner of our practice race on Wednesday. Phil Minimi in 8th, Jack Lantern 9th, Matt Smith 10th, Ruben F. Andrade is 11th, Colin Backer 12th, Karatko 13th, Paulson 14th, Feimster 15th, Fonseca 16th, Michelena and Fern on row number 9, Rafael and Gutierrez on row 10, Dunn is 21st, Scheik is 22nd, Garcia and Contreras alongside each other on row number 12, then Novak 26th, 25th, Bertrand 26th. And here we go with the lights. All 6 lights are on. And we're away for the first of the AF1 races in Season 4. Lowy seems to get away well, but so does Andrea Di Noia. As we head towards turn 1, Lowy's going to have a good run. That's one of the purple cars in the background that's gone off. There's been a spin at the back. That's Jake Feimster, I think it is, coming back across the grass as one of the Mongol cars. Both the Mongol cars have come together, Contreras and Garcia. Di Noia takes the lead from Beauty briefly, but Lowy holds the lead. Collins is 3rd, Khan Tuna is 4th, Ricciardo 5th. A lot of wheel-to-wheel action through the field as that's one of the HWA cars. No! They've just pushed each other off. Ian Rack's racing car just squeezing them out to the edge. He's going to get engulfed by the field. Here comes Damir Karatko, currently P10. Smith makes a move on back and goes to P8. DK's done beauty for 6th. A lot of incidents at turn 9 and 10. People getting pushed off all over the place. Imrax is not doing well, the Imrax racing team. Don't go side by side into turn 11 on lap 1. Kuratko goes across. There's another, the Imrax car going across the road again. That's Colin Backer looking very strong in practice. It doesn't seem like he's going to make much progress today. Lowy now has a 7/10 of a second lead. Into turn 13 is Fern down the inside of one of the Moax cars. They've pushed each other off and the Skoda car has followed of his own accord. And that's the Moax car spinning in the background. That is Raffaello. He will drop to the back of the field. We've got a big battle going on for P8 as one car comes into the pits. Who is that coming into the pits? It's Phil into the pits. He's currently on the prime tyres. That might have to change. Is Raffaella coming again? It's Denoya. No DOS just yet, but he's in range to do it. It's going to be a brilliant battle for the front. There's 4 in that leading pack. We won the battle for 10th. Kuratko holding on just about. That's Paulson, sorry, in the Skoda. Followed by Kuratko in the Nvidia and Michelena in the Gunter's Pride car. Lantern dropping back briefly in the Icky D car. Lowy's teammate. Denoya is pushing super hard. He's on the option tyres, so we will need to pit early. But so is Ben Collins. They're on a similar strategy, it may seem. And that's Collins trying to make a move around the outside into turn 11. It's not going to work through there. But he'll hold back for now. There's been another spin at the back. That is Charles Bertrand. He's had a spin at turn 9. He goes to the back of the field. But most of the field, about the top 20, maybe 21, all sort of in together. There goes, that is Miguel going off and almost doing an unsafe rejoin. He's going to lose so many positions there. Beauty keeps dropping back through the field. He's down to P12 now after a good qualifying. But the fastest lap so far, it actually goes to Khan Tuna with a 39.4. DOS will be enabled this lap. Khan Tuna with an excellent move down the inside through turn 2 on Collins. The move wasn't even on going into turn 1. We're capitalising on a mistake. Very, very opportunistic move. Collins may be looking for an outside move into turn 3, but it's not going to happen this time. It's Imran Sheikh. Loads of curb. That's too much curb. Imrax Racing not having a good day today. He's going to drop back. And he's going to be done by Fern. And it's a spin. That's a spin for Michelena at turn 3 in the Gunter's Pride car. That's not going to do well. He drops back even further. He's down to 15th. After a fairly decent start, it seems. As we approach the first DOS zone of the race, Andrea Denoya is only half a second down on Lowy. P3 and P4 drop back somewhat. They're out of DOS range, but Collins could have a move into turn 13. This is what we want to see, the lead battle. No DOS. Denoya's not using DOS this time. Maybe it's just easing back, but I can see Collins in the background is too far back to have a move into turn 13 though. Phil's had a little moment at turn 9. Yeah, he's spun at turn 9, turn 10. He's going to drop back to about P23 now. He's P21 already. And there's been a huge collision at turn 9, turn 12. Everybody's off. I think that's Kuratko. Michelena's going to make a lot of progress from that. Fonseca was involved in that as well. Most people have got going again, but we've now got this huge gaggle of cars all together in a dangerous location. That's one of the Skoda cars in the background going off. That'll be Simon Novak, starting with the back of the grid. Good progress so far to P19, capitalising off of lots of mistakes. Collins now out of DOS zone. Out of DOS. In fact, where's Denoya gone? Did Denoya have a spin? He's dropped back to P5. I wonder why the gap had increased, and I was like, wait, where's the second guy? Thank you, POW, for following. Really appreciate that. And we're now over 100 followers, which is insane. Thank you to all of you for following. Here's Simon Novak, who's just got past one of the Mongol cars, Contreras. That's not a insult. That's their actual team name, Mongrels. And Collins has done Lowy. I think Lowy had a mistake into turn 10 because Collins now leads. Collins leads the AF1 race on lap 4 of 44. We're not even a tenth of the way into this race, and we've already had a lead change, and Lowy has been defeated so far. Khan Tuna is back in the battle now for P1. That's a late move for one of the Moac racing cars. I think Fern just let him by there. That's Fonseca going past. Good move from Fonseca. Here's Lantern in the other Icky D car, being passed by the other Poor Energy racing car. That's Gutierrez. Beauty's had a spin at turn 12. I think he might have got hit by that invisible bump. There's an invisible bump on the exit of turn 12, on that exit curb. Only some people will get it. Only some people will get hit by that. Here's Daniel Ricciardo. An excellent race so far. He's staying in the lead battle pretty much. He's in P7. He's in that sort of second large gaggle of cars. We've got 5th and 6th. That's Denoya and Smith all on their own. Denoya because of an incident. Here's one of the Skoda cars. That's Paulson trying to look down the inside. Ricciardo giving him room, but here comes one of the Imrax cars. That's Colin Backer. Very strong in these round. He's going to have the outside into turn 3. He's done Ricciardo so far, but we've got a side-by-side battle behind for that as well. Backer goes wide, and there goes Ricciardo, and they've touched into turn 4. One of the real Campos racing cars. That's Andrade going. He's got the inside for turn 5. He's backed out of that a little bit, and now he's going to be under pressure from Paulson in 10th place. In the Skoda racing car, the lovely green coloured car, beautiful car. Jake Feimster's had a brilliant comeback so far, and so has Imran Shaikh actually, because that's between P12 and P13. That's one of the, I believe that's JMGT in the background. Juan Manuel Gutierrez having a little off at turn 3. It's just about a second between Collins and Lowy. Collins starting to pull away, but Collins is on the option tyre. If you want a 2-stop strategy, we should be seeing, as a reminder, we should be seeing a 2-stop strategy. People start to pit on around about lap 10. Fuel will only last 30 laps. The prime tyres can easily last a full fuel tank. Here's Andrade down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, the number 3 Turkish Torpedoes car. And Paulson just behind, having a little look, but he's not going to try and into turn 14. The corners around Albert Park really need names. Jet, you really do need to get on to these races if you haven't signed up already. I think you might have done. Is that 2 on 1? Is that lapping? No, that's not lapping. That is Garcia doing Lantern and Fonseca into turn 11. I think that's one of the moves of the day. I want to see that at the end. There's Raffaello going wide. That's a turn 13. Let's go back to the lead battle. It's Lowy trying to chase down Ben Collins for the lead. It's just about a second. So just about have DOS, but not quite good enough. It is worth it, honestly, Jet. It's an amazing series to be in. And just this, we're only 6 laps in, and there's so much action. I love it. I absolutely love it. Daniel Ricciardo's had a little moment there. He might come together with the Skoda, but he just about moves out of the way in time. Paulson will go through on Ricciardo. Michelena will be next in P11. Here's Simon Novak. Phil Mini-Me just behind, having a little look. It might say HWA. It's actually called P&J Racing because it's Phil and Jens. Jens isn't here today. That's Fabio Raffaello. Little spin on the exit turn 4. He's going to drop back even further. He's been passed by Garcia and Fonseca now because of that. Maybe even Phil. I don't know. Yeah, here comes Phil. No, that's not Phil. There's Fern. Fern's had a stop. He's stopped on the exit turn 10. Lost the back end, it seems. He's going to get done by one of the Skoda cars. That's Novak. Benefiting from there. The gap's down a half a second between Collins and Lowy. It's possible the option tyres, if you push them too hard, they will go off after around 7 laps. That's according to Miguel from his data. That's more than 2. That's more than 1 move. That's not fair from Andrade. I'll make sure to tell the stewards about that later. That's not going to help Paulson trying to find a way past him into turn 1. Fonseca's had to DNF. That's not good. I think he's left the server. He's had enough. Paulson having a look down the inside into turn 3. They both look pretty cautious, but I think that was Paulson having a spin. There he is. He's had a spin, so that's a position for Ricciardo and Michelena behind. Miguel, the new AF4 champion, just crowned yesterday. If you haven't watched that stream, I sincerely suggest you watch it. There's Ricciardo having a spin on the exit of turn 6. Miguel moving well out the way of that one. He doesn't want to get involved in that. Lantern shutting the door on done into turn 14 there. Here's the battle for P6. Matt Smith chasing down Colin Backer. Backer's having to have a bit of a recovery drive. He spun early on in this race. I say early on, we're only 7 laps in. This is going to be such an amazing race if this is all the action we've had so far. It's amazing. Ben Collins in the lead. Half a second back is Lowy. And another 1.4 back is DK. These initial battles are great. Strategy is going to make this even better. Most of the prime runners are sort of running outside the top 10. The only ones inside the top 10 on the primes are Lowy in second. Tuna in fourth. That's about to be third. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Awesome move from Ricciardo around the outside into 15. And that's Paulson pulling into the pits. Maybe that was a alliteration and a half. Awesome, Jet. Thank you for signing up for reserve. Good luck for getting a spot, because this is almost a full grid tonight. There's Shaik doing Michelena, and not because of a spin from Michelena. With all due respect, though, Michelena has been doing very well. We got to the first pit stops. It's Paulson is still in the pits. Fimes is in the pits, and so is Shaik. Fimes is out in P10 on the primes. Shaik on the primes as well, and Michelena, we'll find out in a minute. He is out. I think he might be going for another set of option tyres. Or is he going to be staying in here a lot longer than everybody else? Because he's dropping back further and further through the lead. He's from the lead. He is P20. Is Mongols live with the best? Personally, I think it's the Skoda car or the Nvidia car, actually. Michelena's still in the pits. I think he's having some problems. That's not good. Let's see what's going on with Miguel. But we don't get to see that. We want to see Garcia, apparently. And Lowy's done Collins for the lead. But maybe it's time for Collins to pit. He's not pitting this lap. I feel really bad for Miguel. Miguel, what's going on with Miguel? He's still in the pits. What is this indeed? This is AF1. Brought to you by Assetto Friends, a Discord server that runs Assetto Corsa League races. Be very nice to have you. I believe it's !invite if you, or !Discord, in fact, if you want to see the invite link and join us. Show you the fight for the lead. Indeed. Ben Collins is dropped back even further. He's gone back to P4. I hate autocam. I'm getting rid of it. I'm sick of this. Right, DK. Here's the lead here's the lead battle. DK is in second, chasing down Lowy. Collins has had a moment, so he's back in P4. He's 3 seconds down. He's under threat from Denoyer now. There's still a lot of time to pull it back. This is early on in the race. I'm not practicing for a job interview. I kind of sound like it there, don't I? Got to admit. Well, to be fair, I'd be a bit more... if I was in for a job interview. Nerves. Too much nerves. But in this, I'm fired up. This is a great race we're watching here. DK's less than a second. He's got DOS wide open, but still too far back. The gap is too wide as well to get close to Lowy for a pass. But DK is on the option tyres. We could see that lead battle be a bit more hard to read later on in this race, as Lowy is on the prime tyres and so is Tuna. So that could be the lead battle for now. For those running a one-stop strategy or maybe a two-stop strategy, could be a factor later on in this race. Tuna fastest on that lap on the 39.5 of the top 3 drivers, the rest in the 1 minute 40s. It is not plain sailing for Lowy at all. In the last season of AF1 he was leading most races by a country mile, and today it's not even a regular mile. It's not even 100 yards. You've got a 6/10 lead over DK. champion of Assetto Friends versus the champion DK of Team Charged, one of our friends, the Assetto friends servers. That's Callum Dunn getting out of the way there. That's not Callum Dunn, that is the other Dead Bull racing car of Charles Bertrand. Michelena is back out on track. He's on the prime tyres. He should probably be going to the end, but he's so far out of it. Where is he? I can't see him on track. Where is he? Raphael has had a little moment, I think. Michelena is P24. He has been lapped. In fact, I think he's so far back in this field, I can't see him on my graphic. Paulson has had a spin. In a very dangerous position in turn 5. He's going to have to cut the corner to get back on. Shaik, Gutierrez have both gone past him. So has Phil, so has Novak. The other Skoda car. There's Collins. Tuner. He's going to have a move at DK, surely into turn 3. He looks to the outside. He's going to switch back to the inside. No, he's not. There's a tap. There's damage. There might be damage on both cars, but nothing severe. Probably more on Tuner. Denoyer has had a moment. He's gone off at turn 2. He's got back out again. He's lost a couple of positions, including to his teammate Smith in the other Petronas car. Thank you, Serpent, for following. Really appreciate that. We've still got this battle for second place. DK versus Tuner. I think DK might have had a moment a couple of laps ago, because it was less than a second and now it's nearly 2 seconds. Tuner's going to try round the outside into turn 11. But maybe that's just because he hasn't got anywhere to go. Because you don't try it down the inside. You can't try it round the outside either. Hold it together over the curb. He's got the DOS. He's going to try maybe for a move into turn 13. DK going defensive. He's going to go round the outside into 13. They had a little tap there, but getting away with it pretty much. And Tuner takes P2. So the top 2 drivers are on the prime tyres now. No more people pitting so far. We've had Damir Kuratko also retire. Fonseca is still in this race. Granted, a little bit down on anywhere, really. Paulson has been looking strong, actually, Jake. I think he's got a shot here. Collins round the outside, DK round the outside of Khan Tuner. They touch again through turn 4. Tuner's going to have to go over that horrible sausage curb on the exit of 4. And we'll rejoin, still less than a second behind, but Collins is going to start to come back into this battle. In one of the battle for P6, it's Denoyer versus Smith. The 2 Palace racing cars, the Petronas coloured cars. They look lovely. They look awesome. Also had a move, Novak versus Fern. Novak has got vastly just enough time to have the DOS, but Fern also has DOS, so there might be a move coming into turn 1 here. DOS on DOS, he's going to have a little lunge. He's locked up a little bit. They're side by side, but nothing comes to it so far. Bertrand has had a spin at turn 10. Lantern into the pits, currently on the option tyres. We're starting to see the last of the option runners come into the pits. We're still waiting on DK, Ben Collins, Matt Smith, Denoyer, Bakker, all on the option tyres so far. Andrade has done Bakker. Bakker's still ahead of Andrade, lapping one of the Dead Bull racing cars. Both Collins and DK are in the pits on the option tyres. The battle begins. DK will take the lead out of the pits. And he will likely go onto the prime tyres. One-stop strategy is probably... They're both on the option tyres. They're going option, prime. 2 stopping it, but they've got in the way a little bit over the line there at the exit of the pit entry. At the exit of the pit exit. A little moment there. Maybe that was an off. Maybe that was team orders. But either way, it's Denoyer back past Smith. But now, the two Palace Racing cars go up against the two Speedo cars. Denoyer's got some pace in this race. Shike's had a spin at turn 13. Gutierrez got past for 14th. Maybe there was an incident. Maybe there wasn't. The two Dead Bull Racing cars. I think there's some team strategy going in, because obviously every car has a wide moment for Gutierrez. Each team still has two boxes rather than one. So you don't need to worry about any stacking issues. Round the outside goes Fern on Shike. They touched! That was a terrible... Oh, that was awful. I don't know what happened there. I think Shike may have understeered into there, but Fern has been spun off. I don't think Fern will be happy about that. I mean, he obviously won't be, because he's on a relatively new set of primary tyres. We're on lap 13 of 44. We've only just reached a quarter of the way through this race. I tell you what, Dirt Rally's a good game. It really is. This race is incredible. I'm loving every minute of this. You know, normally, so sometimes during a race I've run out of things to talk about, and it may seem like that from this ramble, but this is a good race. This is a really good race. Dunn's had another moment. He's been overtaken by his teammate. The two Dead Bull Racing cars not having a good day today. 22nd and 23rd. Meanwhile at the front, here's Kaya Kantuna. He's now 16 seconds ahead of Lowy. I think he's just maybe clearing off. I don't know. The two Speedo cars holding station so far. 0.3 of a second. The Mongrel Boys. Let's see how the Mongrel Boys are doing. We've got Contreras here in P12. And Garcia's in P16. He is potentially on the back of a move on Novak for P15. There's lots of strategies at play here. A reminder that the two Speedo cars are both on the option tyres. They've already stopped. They will have to stop again later on in this race. Oh, man! That was weird. A spin for Novak and a spin for Garcia, causing to go into Garcia. Novak's in a dangerous position. There's cars going off everywhere. Callum Dunn, who I think is a lap down at this point, is just in the way now. There goes Lowy through all of that. He's okay. Novak's just sort of stuck there for a long while. There's still a few cars to come through before he can start moving again. Now he can spin round. He's got Michelena, the last of the cars, but he's got P2 Kaya Kantuna to deal with first. There's Garcia, who's got back going again. That's commentators. That's almost like Chatter's curse for Jet. I'm going to stick with that. Maybe that turns into something this season. So if you want anyone to spin off, just say it in the chat. I might regret saying that. Still DK and Collins together in the two Speedo cars. Maybe there's no move being done there, and that's very close. I don't think team orders are in effect here. Denoyer into the pits. No, I'm not going to make you commentator yet. Back has done Smith for 5th place. That looks like an easy move considering the gap that's just become of it. Denoyer's come out on the prime tyres, so maybe going for a one stop. It's around that sort of position. It's around the sort of time of the race for a one stop to be feasible. If you start on the prime tyre, you can go until about lap 30 or so, and then pit for the softs, for the option tyres. The field's starting to spread out a bit. We've still got this inter-team battle going on between Collins and DK in the Speedo cars, but I'm not convinced anything's going to happen between those two. They're going to stick to team orders because P3 and P4 is a very good result for Speedo, and that might be enough to take them to the top of the team's standings. Another tongue twister for me there. How wonderful. Hello, Jake. It's only the one caster. It's only the one caster. It's just me. What's happened to Lowy? Lowy's DNF'd! What happened to Lowy? Oh, he's got going again. I think he had a... Oh, God, that was scary. I think he had a ping issue or something because he's back going again. I thought I should remind Lowy, in every race he's... in every race Lowy has taken part in, he has scored a podium that has been recorded. There's still a little gap in our records for Season 2 of AF1. But in every race that we have a record of, Lowy has scored a podium in every single one. So for something like that to happen with a retirement because of an internet issue, that is unprecedented and is probably the most significant moment in AF1 history. Matt Smith in the other Palace racing car into the pits. We'll take a look and see where he'll come out. Here's De Nooijer, his teammate, who was just ahead of Smith before. There goes Smith just coming out the pits now. He's just come out of his pit box. It's going to be done by Beauty as well in the Nvidia Racing Team car, up to P9. Fimes de Contreras both setting personal bests on the prime tyres so far. Garcia's had under the spin. That's off at turn 11 in a very dangerous place. You don't want to be in the inside there. He's going to cut across the inside of turn 12. Nice and safe, but he's still got 18 seconds back to Novak. Where's the biggest move so far? We got Contreras trying to chase down Feimster. I know Mongols apparently is a popular car, is a popular team with at least one person. It's all kicking off now for P3. Collins, DK and Carntuna. That's one of the Dead Bull Racing cars spinning off in the background in P13. DK still trying to get past Collins, but Carntuna is here. Carntuna has he? I'm confused. I think Carntuna's had a spin at some point because there's no way he's pitted. He was on the prime tyres. So that's going to throw a spanner in the work. Another one for Tuna. Collins and DK are now in P2 and P3, but they're still on the option tyres. They've still got to pit again. They'll be pitting around about lap 32, you would think, around about that sort of area, to be able to pit for a set of prime tyres. You've still got to use the primes. They pitted around lap 11-12, so maybe in about 7 laps' time. Ricciardo recently got past Andrade for P6. A strong showing so far for Ricciardo. I think there is an interesting battle going on here and not team orders. DK is still looking to get past Collins, but he's taking a lot more caution than he would normally with anybody else, because this is his teammate. There's 11 weeks after this to try and to beat him. You don't want to sour the relationship at round 1. By all means do it at round 11, 12, when it doesn't mean so much and the season's pretty much over. Here's Imran Shaikh battling with Paulson. He's going to go round the outside into turn 16. He did what was done to him at turn 16, only better this time. No DOS for either of them going down to turn 1. As Lowy comes up to the back of the both of them. While they're battling, Lowy's going to try and get past. That's dangerous, Lowy! Wait your turn! He's got past Paulson. He's going to get past Shaikh now. He's gotten away with that, but that was dangerous. Not dangerous in an illegal way, but dangerous in a that could ruin my race way. He's got a lot of balls to try that. Paulson round the outside of Shaikh, but he almost catches the sausage curbs. They're still side by side. In fact, Shaikh's got past Paulson, and now Fern's got past Paulson in the poor energy racing car. There's too many letters that are the same. It's quite annoying. Shaikh's had a spin at turn 6. Couldn't quite save it. He's going to have quite a bit of damage from that hefty impact into the wall at turn 6. Back to the battle for P2. It's out to 0.7 of a second. Just listen back a little bit. You just want to stay calm and keep it together, but you also need to be gaining on Lowy if you want the 2-stop to work and beat him. It really is a long race, Blank. But honestly, every minute of it has been exciting. This isn't like an F1 race. This is an AF1 race. It's a lot better than that. Dunn is apparently DNFing. Bertrand's had a pop off into the gravel at turn 9. He's going to get back going again. He's P22, a lap down on Novak, who has also had a spin at the same corner. I wonder if there's an issue happened while Novak was trying to lap Bertrand there. But now he's got what looks like Carntuna, I think that is. Oh, no, it's the number 3. It's Danny Ricciardo going past and lapping him. There's a 7-second gap back to Andrade. It seems like a lot of people are having moments that we don't get to see. There's another crash at turn 12, but we've also got Jake Farms who's gone off at turn 9 and 10. It's Novak again at turn 12. Turn 12, turn 9, turn 1, all big crash zones it seems for this race, and maybe even turn 13. It's a treacherous circuit this week. Next week we're at Nürburgring, which should go a little bit better, and it's a little bit more familiar to everybody. It's one of the stock Kunos tracks at the end of the day. Yeah, a lot of times tyres seem to be dying. Simon Novak, for example, is on the prime tyres. He's coming to the pits now. He's only done 17 laps on the prime tyres, and we're expecting the primes to last longer than the fuel tank will last. That's the other Icky D racing car. That's Jack Lantern. It's not Lowy. I repeat, it's not Lowy. Everything is fine. Although, you know, if you want to spice it up a bit, sure, but yeah, by all means, Bright. I understand. I'll let Daniel know it's because of a sprained ankle and all that. Sorry to hear that. We got Contreras into the pits in P14. This is now the stint where pretty much everyone's going to be on the prime tyres. But we see there's 3 people who are still on the options. Collins, DK, Backer. They're all trying something different and trying to make places up in the field early on in the race and get track position. As we get the fastest lap for DK, the options still looking good after what is nearly 8 laps on these tyres, I think. So that's a double DNF for Dead Bull Racing. Callum Dunn out. Although it says he's still in the pits. I don't think he hasn't returned to the track yet. And Charles Bertrand. And this is DK going down foot down the inside to turn 6. Clean move. That was a lovely move there for P2. Give us a different camera. There we go. Beauty on Denoya for P8. Both of these drivers have pitted. Denoya pitted a lot later for a set of prime tyres. And Collins is out of spin at turn 12. He's going to drop behind the main pack. DK, Tuner and Backer. Beauty's out of spin as well at turn 7. We're not even into that phase where tyres should be going off. Beauty's been on these tyres since the start of the race, I believe. So the tyres should be lasting another 7 laps easily. But maybe the drivers are starting to have some issues. Meanwhile, Phil and Manuel Gutierrez with a move into turn 11 and 12. Phil and one of the Moax cars, I think, is just unlapping himself. That'll be Fonseca, I reckon. It's not going to help Gutierrez try and pull it back. And Fonseca's not going to give up on this position. Meanwhile, Lowy's going to be on the back of this. There he is. On a potentially raging battle. Daniel Ricciardo's pulled it back to within a second of Andrade. I believe DK's just set another... Oh no, never mind, that's the already fastest lap. Ignore me, I'm dumb. Most of the field sort of spread out now. Here's Manuel Gutierrez still trying to catch down Phil Minimi. I think he's had to back out a bit of turn 6. Take a second stab at it. What should be a Haas is actually a Lotus in the Port Energy racing car. Not a bad design. I think the colour's just a little bit wrong. The AF2 car and the AF3 car look a lot better in my opinion. There's Lowy going past Gutierrez. It took him longer than I was expecting it to for that to happen. So most of the field is sort of spread out now as we head into the middle stage of this race. And I believe that's Michelena that's had to have a DNF there. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Miguel. Off the high yesterday of an AF4 championship win. And his birthday this week as well. See Fonseca in the background and Gutierrez in the foreground. Both having moments through 14 and 15. Not a good day for Miguel. He was looking really strong and he just got into a spin and into incidents and yeah, bad to worse. Oh, Miguel set his car to repair engine. That's so bad. And yeah, you were looking a lot stronger in qualifying. In practice beforehand, and qualifying seems to just fall apart, I guess. I feel really bad for you, Miguel. Sorry to hear that. But glad you're here now. You get to hear me witter on for another 21 laps. We've just about reached half distance. Lowy still leads by 17 seconds over DK. Cantuna at third. Yeah, I get that. I get that, Miguel. That's a little bit of a... That was close. We get Andrade in 6th place going into the pits while Raffaello's having a spin. And it's sort of just... That's a nightmare. Cheers, Miguel. Enjoy Trove. Or you could just, you know, stay home and listen to me. Beauty into the pits as well from 9th place. Andrade will come out in a pretty decent position. He's just behind the two Palace racing cars and just ahead of Feimster. Andrade did cut across to the left before the end of the pit exit line, so that might need to be investigated at the end of the race. Feimster's having a look. He's on tyres that are heated up. Andrade came out on the option tyres. So maybe he's going prime, option, prime. He's pitted quite early. He was on the prime tyres. DK into the pits on the second set of option tyres. Collins may follow suit in a minute. But he's only just getting around the final corner. DK moving again now. And he'll still come out only just behind of Collins, actually. And he might be in the way of Scheich now. Denoyer's had a spin at turn 12. There's such a big gap between the top 5. And then Ricciardo and Denoyer. So this won't make too much of a difference. He's got 15 seconds to Smith, who's also having a little bit of a rally cross moment on the exit of turn 12. And Beauty's DNF'd as well. So many people are having bad days. Maybe they've set the wrong settings. It's Andrade around the outside of Smith through turn 13. And he's going to hold it through turn 14. And Smith is now going to be under pressure from Feimster for 9th place. He's battled for 8th at half distance. I like to see it. It's very good. Ricciardo into the pits. He was on the prime tyres. He's going to switch to the soft, to the options, you would think. Backer's had a spin from 3rd place. He's got going again almost. He's in P3 at the minute. He's going to drop further down. Ricciardo into the pits. Still. He's going to come out behind this battle for 8th place. Smith going across the grass and Andrade going across the grass. All on their own. Hopefully Ricciardo can get through it without crashing. He's all good. There's Andrade. He's going to get going again. Feimster now has a nice clear lead for 7th place. For now, Ricciardo will be coming. Smith will be coming. Andrade, in theory, will be coming if he gets going again. Battle for P12 and 13. I think that's actually a Moax racing car. That's not on the lead lap. Fonseca's had a little moment into turn 2. Meanwhile, the big battle here is between Bakker and DK. Bakker's into the pits. I think he's had a spin. He's had a spin. He's had to have some damage dealt with. Tuna has spun it at turn 2. He was within 7 seconds. Oh, no, it might be a bit more than that actually. Of Lowy, and now he's going to be passed by Collins into turn 3. He's having to switch to the outsiders. Collins. He's going to try and keep it going, but he's going to have some damage from hitting the wall. Collins is still on the option tyres. He's done 24 laps on 2 sets. He's done 12-12. So now might be the time to do a last 20 lap stint on prime tyres. Of course, you'll save time in the pits if you have to refuel less. Tuna's still having a little bit of a ragged moment, but he's got the speed to try and get past Collins. He's got his tyres are in better condition, you would hope, if the temperatures are back to normal. And there's a tap. That was a... Oh, man. Still under the moment. Collins is going to be back round. I think Collins maybe squeezed him a little bit, but I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. What do you think? Whose fault is that for that incident? Is it Tuna or is it Collins? But Tuna will rejoin it. Still in P2. DK will pass Collins as well. And DK is going to keep coming towards him. Tuna is still on the prime tyres. He's on his first stint, still yet to pit. And Collins is now into the pits from 4th place. And they'll come out just behind Colin Bakker in 5th place. Meanwhile, Shaik has had an incident at turn 2 from 17th place. He'll lose the back of the Mongols car of Garcia. Here's Ricardo, who's on the back of Feimster. Yes, you do have to use 1 set of each tyre, minimum. You can use more than 1 set of a tyre if you want to, but you have to do 1 set of the options and 1 set on the primes, at least. Lowy, fastest lap there with 38.3. He's still not pitted. He's still on the prime tyres from the first stint. No problem at all. Any questions, just fire them into the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Feel free to subscribe and follow us. I'm still new to Twitch. Yeah, follow us, subscribe, share this stream to all your motor racing friends. It'd be great to have as many people in there as possible. Thank you to all 17 of you for joining us. We've been live for an hour and a half. My mouth is starting to go. I forgot to bring a drink up. I'm stupid. Here's Ricardo still on the back of Jake Feimster, trying to get past for 7th place. There's a lot of battling going on. There's battling all the way through the field, even this late on into the race. We're up 27 of 44. Fonseca's had a moment at turn 3. I think that's just because he's letting Bakker by. He's going to stay around the outside and let Collins by as well. Collins recently pitted in the number 22 Speedo car. Trying to catch Bakker. They're both on the primes. Lowy has just pitted. Lowy's pitted, he's on the option tyres now. Hence why he's so fast. That would make sense. I'm still getting used to all of this stuff. Ricardo is still on the option tyres, so is Andrade. Top 15 will get points today, which means maybe Contreras, if he gets himself going again. He's going to have to deal with rejoining with an Imrax with the battle for second coming past him. The battle for fourth, rather. But he's all good. Lantern's had a spin at turn 2 in the other Icky D Racing car. Contrasting fortunes for the two Icky D races. Lowy leading comfortably. Lantern not. Here's Andrade. He's having a look down towards Smith into turn 11. He's not going to try and make a move around here, but he's got a DRS zone coming up. He's got a fairly bad run out of there. He's gone from 2 tenths to 4 tenths. He's going to have the slipstream into turn 13. He's not quite close enough for a move, but it's close enough for Smith to have a little defensive jiggle to the side. But he's really strong out of 13 is Andrade into 14. 2 more DRS zones, one after the other coming up. This is Andrade's chance. Smith having to park the bus into 15, a really interesting line. And round the outside goes Andrade. I don't know what Smith was trying there. But Andrade's going to have DRS and a much better run into turn 1. He's already got the move done. He's got to deal with Fonseca in the Moax racing car around the outside. Raffaello has done Contreras for 17th meanwhile. This is the major battle going on right now for P9th for 9th and 10th. Smith had a little look into turn 3. But still nothing so far. Daniel Ricciardo meanwhile has got to deal with getting through Raffaello and Contreras 17th and 18th. Before we can try and chase down Denoyer. Paulson into the pits in 13th place, currently on the primes. I'm having to kind of guess how many times people have pitted, because the pit graphics I'm seeing apparently are saying Lowe's pitted 3 times, Ricciardo's pitted 4 times. Not correct at all. Contreras getting past Raffaello long before the corner. This is... oh, that's because Raffaello's gone off. Ricciardo having a little date. There he is, just coming back on. Contreras P17. Ricciardo P7, just lapping him there, and causing Contreras to have a little moment into turn 13 there. Well, let's see, James. DK currently P3, so I'm going to say no. But he's close. By position. Not so much by time, he's 36 seconds off the lead, but still. Even despite these huge gaps at the top, Lowy still has only just pitted for the first time. He's going to have to pit again. He's on a 2-stop strategy, because there's no way he can make the rest of this race. He pitted about lap 25. So there's no way he can make one more stop. He can make no more stops and go to the end on the options. Not going to happen. Back to the battle for 8th place between Feimster and Andrade. This is causing Ricciardo to pull away into the lead, to pull away and get a clearer lead in 7th place. 5 seconds to that. But here it's half a second, and they've got a lapped car to deal with. That is Contreras P17. Let them by quite nicely, but this has caused Andrade to have a really good run. He's having a bump left and right, bump right, a bump draft. He's going to look into turn 11, but not quite. He will stay behind for now, but he's got a DOS zone coming up. He's pretty close. He's got DOS. He's going to look to the inside. No defence at the minute from Feimster. And Andrade's completely missed his braking zone, and he goes completely off the track. That was not the best move I've seen all day. Garcia into the pits from 15th. Was close-ish to Fern. Won't be now. And he's going to come out behind Shaik, and maybe even behind... he's only just started to get moving. He's back on track now. He's going to come out behind Contreras. He's going to be 17th. Maybe even behind... no, that's Andrade in 10th place. Collins now catching up to Colin Backer. Collins versus Colin for 4th place. while also having to deal with Simon Novak, 20th place. Simon Novak's recovery drive seeming to be coming at a bit of a stopping point for now. DOS not quite effective enough into turn 13 as it seems. Gutierrez pitting from P12. Currently on the prime tyres. As Tuna comes in for the first time, he's managed to last. He's come onto the option tyres, so he's going for a two-stop strategy. So he's gone 30 laps on the prime tyres. So he's managed to make the. I think he's maybe saving fuel a little bit because from our simulations, fuel will last about 28 laps. Maybe I'm just not good at setup for the fuel to work properly from my simulations. But here's Ben Collins. He's going to have a look at Backer. He's going to switch to the left-hand side. He's going to go for the outside line into turn 3. But he's got Khan Tuna in the way. This is also for position. There's so close to a wheel tap into 4, but going to leave him just enough room. And he's going to move ahead of Backer. 4th place for Collins. Can he chase down Khan Tuna, who's on a fresh set of option tyres? In fact, Tuna is going to be on a one-stop strategy now, because he will definitely be able to go to the end, whereas Lowy will have to pit again. So if Tuna can bring it down to within about 30 seconds, it may be on at the end of this race between Lowy and Tuna. Feimster into the pits from the top 10. He's going to come out on the option tyres. This is the sort of point where those who started on the prime tyres could come in and stop for a set of option tyres for a one-stop strategy. Those who were on the prime tyres from a two-stop strategy could now come out for a set of options to finish the race. Here's Jake Feimster and Phil Minimi in the Squeaky Wheels purple car and the PNJ, what actually looks like HWA, but it's PNJ racing, promise, for 10th and 11th. Feimster's just come out of the pits. He's on a fresh set of option tyres. Phil's on a worn set of primes. Collins has had a spin at midway through turn 3. Maybe there was some collision between him and Backer. Collins had a spin. He's back down to P5. But that's pretty much where he's going to stay, because De Nooijer has only just crossed the finish line. He's 28 seconds back. Phil and Feimster. Phil down the inside into turn 13. But Feimster will surely still have the faster tyres. Andrade into the pits. That'll be his final stop of the race. He's on a set of option tyres at the minute. He'll change to another set of options. And he might just drop down into this battle for 10th and 11th, which will be 9th and 10th in a minute. Smith goes past Andrade. He's just coming out the pits now. There he is. Once his tyres get up to temperature, this could be a good battle. Feimster just about keeping it all together through turn 1 for a move down the inside. But Phil's going to just breeze straight back past. No change for position at the minute, but this will bring Andrade back into the field. And into this very juicy battle for 9th place. The top 8 seems to be very stable at the minute. It's Lowy, DK, Tuna in 3rd, Backer 4th, Collins 5th, De Nooijer 6th, Ricciardo 7th, and Smith is in 8th place with 12 laps to go. We're on lap 33 of 44. Feimster surely going to have another look into turn, maybe even turn 11. The DOS detection zone is before turn 11. So if you can make a move late enough, you'll still get the DOS coming out of it. But it's a very risky move. Do you want to try it? How desperate are you right now? There's still just over 10 laps to go, as I said. DOS is going to be wide open. He's going to keep chasing down Phil for 9th place. No move this time. Little lock up for both of them. They both go wide, but Feimster worse off than Phil, it would seem. But of course, DOS, faster tyres. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Phil pulls to the left. He's got no more moves to make to defend. So Fonseca's going to go down the inside. But Phil's going to hold it on around the outside. There's still the battle into turn 3 though. Another DOS zone coming up. Here it is. Wide open. Phil stays to the right at the minute. Blocks off the inside. He's going to go to the outside is Fonseca. He's got a good run around the outside. He's going to go a little bit wide. He's going to have the inside into 4 if he can hold it together. No. Phil's going to just close that door. Slam shut. And Phil will stay P9 for now. What an excellent battle this is for P9. It's still worth some decent points. It's worth around about 7 points. 7 points for 9th and 6 points for 10th. That can make all the difference later on in this season. It's still Lowy with a 48-second lead over DK. Still another commanding drive. But here's Andrade. He's going to have a move into before turn 11 on Fonseca. This just became 3-way. Awesome. Love it. He's down the inside. He's going to back out of it. Oh, that was close. He does back out of it, but also almost takes Fonseca with him in the process. This gives Phil an opportunity to pull away. Whoa, way too fast into turn 13. He's going to hit the wall. I think he avoided it, maybe, but he's still going to go way off and he's going to drop out of this battle. And that whole battle is spread out now. And now there's nothing to watch. Lowy is in the pits. We're going to ride on more with DK as he comes out of turn 12. Lowy's come out on track, back onto the track already. He's on another set of the option tyres with 10 laps to go. Tuna also on the option tyres. He's 2.6 seconds behind DK. DK's on prime tyres that he's been on for the last 10 laps. It's a personal best for Tuna on that last lap, a 38.3. He's pushing hard. The gap's down to 1.2 seconds behind DK now. If I had an AWS graphic for this, I would say he'll catch within about 2 laps, I think. In fact, maybe even less than that. DK's still slow. Tuna's down to less than a second. I mean, AWS graphics are often wrong. But how's the overtake difficulty going to be? It looks like it's going to be easy. The gap is still closing. Closing. He's going to move it into turn 9. DK goes defensive. And he's going to block off any chance of a switchback going through around the outside into 10. He moves to the left instantly to block off any charge down the inside on the straight-ish towards 11. But Tuna's still side by side round the outside. He's going to make a move. No, he's not. He's going to back it off. But he's got DOS. He'll have DOS going down to turn 13. He's got a much better run through 12. Here comes the DOS. DK will surely go defensive again. He does. Very late defence after the kink, but he still managed to find a way down the inside and makes the move stick. A little bit of grass, but nothing too severe. And Tuna will take P2 from DK. The status quo maintained at the front of this grid. Lowy and Tuna, also known as It's Dirty in our servers. But they're both on the option tyres, so maybe finishing on the option tyres might be a good move. But then again, Lowy's just fast, so, you know, he's busy mixing it with 7th and 8th, lapping them. Is this battle still going, or is Tuna going to clear off? It's up to 6 tenths now. The other closest battle we've seen is Fonseca. De Nooijer's had a little spin. Going into turn 13, that looks like the rear brakes would have locked up for that. And he'll rejoin, still in 6th place. Ricardo's 21 seconds behind. Nothing much is going to come from there. Lantern pits late on. He's with about 7 or 8 laps to go. In fact, he's still got 10 laps to go. He's 2 laps down. But he'll come out in P20. De Nooijer into the pits, surely with some damage, maybe some worn tyres. He's on the primes at the minute, so we'll have to switch to a set of option tyres and see what it can do from here. This is going to bring Ricardo into the play. And he does. Ricciardo will take P6 from De Neuer. But still not close enough to make... Phil is going to be into the pits. He's on the prime tyres, so he's going to go for an option set with about 7 laps to go. So we're left with this, Feimster versus Andrade. De Neuer will come out behind of all of that. I think he's had to repair some damage. He's in P10, he's still not out of the pits. He's just come out now in P10. If you consider beforehand, the gap between De Neuer and Ricciardo was 21 seconds before the pit stops. That's not gone well for De Neuer, and it'll be interesting to see what happened. The battle for the Mongols is still raging on between Garcia and Contreras. Well, they're saying that instead of just made a move, they're now 4 seconds apart from each other with 2 cars in between them. No idea what's happened there. But also around is the battle for 8th place, still raging. Andrade versus Feimster. Novak into the pits. We'll drop down to P20. Into the final 2 corners. DRS is going to be an option soon. De Neuer El Spinadero. Love it. Feimster with the DOS. Not going to make a move into turn 1. He's going to take a later apex to maybe get a good run out of turn 2. We're going to head down towards turn 3. We're on to lap 38 of 44. Lowe's just crossed the finish line for that. Everybody else will be a long way back from this. In fact, Tuna's just crossed the line 35 seconds back. I feel like something's going on with the graphics, because again it's just said Fern has passed Paulson, but the gap there is 4 seconds. And we're still looking for this move. Feimster try and get past Andrade for 8th place. Oh, that was a weird little moment there in the background for Garcia. And the battle for 16th might still be going on. It might be about to heat up again between the 2 Mongols cars. Garcia in 16th, Contreras in 17th. That's sort of the next closest battle in this field. Here comes Feimster again. 0.3 of a second. He's going to weave left and right, try and pick a direction. He's going to go for the outside line. He's already got past, but Andrade's going to have a little look and spins it on his own. That was a really weird one. That was a very tight spin. Andrade's gone. Feimster will be clear off in 8th place. But here's De Neuer. The battle will still rage on, as here comes De Neuer. He's going to pass Andrade for 9th place. And does so, but Andrade's going to let him by. Yep. Easy move, job done. And surely De Neuer will pull away now. He's on a newer set. He only pitted a couple of laps ago for a set of options. So he'll have better tyres than Andrade does, especially since he just spun. I'll tell you what, today it's been a great race, I think. There's been battling for most of this race, right the way through the field. Much more close racing, and a lot more strategy options that produce some interesting options. Lowy will still come home with a decent lead. But we're into a new era. And Lowy is just going to clear off. Feimster's done Smith. What's happened to Smith? I think he's had a spin at turn 15 or something. Because Feimster's gone past. He's up to 7th. Feimster's had a really up and down race today. He involved in an incident really early on in this race. On lap 1 or 2, it dropped him towards the lower end of the top 20. And since then, he's just kept it going. And after the first round of pit stops, he's back up towards the top 10. And now he's got this. He's capitalising off of other people's mistakes. Speaking of which, that's another spin in the background for Imran Sheikh. That's going to put Garcia and probably even Contreras. Yep, that's the first of the Mongols' cars into the points. Imran Sheikh, not a good day for Imrak's. Bakker's been in the wars. Bakker still looked strong, which is why he's recovered up to 4th place, but involved in quite a few incidents and a few spins early on in the race that have just cost him any chance of battling any higher, maybe even for a podium. He's 11 seconds off of DK for the podium. Similarly, Collins looking very strong through most of this race, but towards just past mid-race had a spin while battling with his teammate of all people. Whoa, that's close! That made me squeeze parts of my body there. As Collins tries to go past, that's Gutierrez in 12th place. Here's Ricciardo back in 6th. He's had quite a quiet race for the majority of it. He had a little battle early on in this race that kept him in the top 8 or so. But his pace in qualifying looked like he could have been much higher. He took pole originally before Lowy blew everybody out the water. Ooh, that sounded like a little moment there. A little bit of the Revs having a little moment there. Matt Smith, both the Palace Racing cars have had their moments today. They looked really strong early on in the race as well. They were up battling for 4th and 5th, along with the 2 Speedo guys. Around about the overlap for the first pit stops. I just hear some gravel noise in the background. Who's that going off? Is that Jake Feimster going off? It was Jake Feimster going off. This could get very tasty indeed for P7. As we head into the closing stages of this race, Lowy is about to start lap 42, the 3rd from last lap of this race. Is Denoy going to have a move? It looks like he will. He has a look down the inside. He's not going to make it this time. No, he is. I think Smith might have let him by there. But now Denoy is going to chase down Feimster in the closing laps of this race. They're on lap 41 of 44. They're on the lead lap, I think. No, they're not. So they've only got 3 laps left. He's had a bump on turn 6. He had a moment there. He had a little bump, lifted up over a bump, and he lost control of the car a little bit. An excellent save to save that. The battle for second has just heated up between Carntuna and DK. I think DK's just been pulling towards him for ages, and this is going to rage on. They're on the lead lap, so there's still 2.5 laps of this, and I'm here for this. Andrade's got past Matt Smith for P9. Tuna's going to have a look round the outside into turn 9. And he's going to get pushed off by DK. DK will stay ahead for now. But Tuna's on the options, DK's on the primes. He's been on the primes for the last 20 laps, almost. So his tyres are in much worse condition than Tuna's are, presumably. He's had a good run out of turn 12. He's going to look to the outside. Manuel Gutierrez had a moment at around turn 5. He's going to go round the outside as Tuna into turn 13. A little bit of grass, but he goes through. Stunning move around the outside. De Noia has done Feimster for P7. This battle, however, is not over. Fern's done Gutierrez for P12. This battle for second is not over by any means. Who's your driver of the day? Let me know in the chat. I'll be sure to let the drivers know when I see them again. And we'll bring in the driver of the day as well in for an interview. If you want to see them in for an interview, in for a chat, in for messaging the driver of the day into the chat. And I'll see if I can bring them in for you. DK may be dropping a bit back from Tuna, but not quite over yet. There's still 2 laps left of this race. Anything can still happen. Saying that, Lowy has a 54-second lead, and while they're going towards the end of the first sector, Lowy is going to be starting... Oh, little back end slide there from Tuna. DK's going to be back on this, but it's still back up to 7 tenths. Lowy starts the final lap of this race. Not gonna lie, I think everybody has a few setups from Lowy's F2004. Oh, it's a late move for Tuna through turn 11. DK's going to go through ahead. I think the tyres on the soft tyres, the option tyres for Tuna are starting to go off a bit. That's going to put DK back ahead for P2. Tuna's going to be gutted about that. Although saying that, he's gone off again. And so is one of the Mongol cars. That's Contreras. Thank you, Ark. Or Arkotep. Forgive me for pronouncing it wrong. Following. Really appreciate that. And thank you to all 19 of you for watching today. Oh, Lipsy just joining us. Hi, Lipsy. A lot of pressure, yeah. Thank you, Satori, as well, for following. Everybody, join the party. Yes, thank you very much. Paulson's had a spin late on in this race. That's at turn 9. Feimster's had a spin at turn 6. And thank you, Winky. 3 in a row. Wow. Andrade's done Feimster as well. He's going to drop down to P9. But meanwhile, here is Lowy round the final corner of the final lap. And once again, in a new era of AF4 and a new car, Lowy commands another race and takes the victory in the first round at Melbourne by what seems to be nearly a minute. Stunning race. Fern comes across the line in P12, Fonseca 21st. But we're still looking to see if this battle will change. Tuna 2.4 down on DK. I've been saying this for ages, since not long after I joined. We need to be OP Lowy. Andrea De Noia has done... Oh no, never mind. That's just a mistake on mine. Ricardo's finished in P6. And Tuna's caught up nicely towards DK, but it's not quite going to be enough. There's still 1.7 seconds between DK and Tuna. Fern's coming to the pits at the end of the race, I think. Oh no, he's just finished the race, he's coming to the pits. DK will finish second. Tuna in third. A good, strong race for all of our top 3. Bakker will finish P4. Laguna is not in the calendar. Here's Collins P5. Ricardo will finish P6. De Noia 7th. Andrade 8th. Feimster 9th. Smith 10th. Phil Minimi 11th. Fern 12th. Gutierrez 13th. Balson 14th. And the final point goes to Garcia in 15th. Scheich out of the points in 16th. Same for Contreras. Raffaello had a few spins. Lanton had bad luck. Novak struggled through the field from the back of the track, from the back of the field, and Fonseca will finish 21st. Our retirements include Beauty, Michelena, Bertrand, Dunn and Kuatko. So number 1 takes P1 once again for what is nearly the 20th, for more than 20 races now across all of our leagues. And he's only raced about 35. I think he's lost all bar 5 or so of the races he's ever entered. And the only reason I'm winning the race, I've won any races, is because Lowy isn't in them, which I kind of appreciate, but it'd be nice to race against him. The next race will be Nürburgring next week, same time, or maybe a bit earlier, because we'll get our shit together next week. That'll be the 11th of October at 6 PM British Summer Time. Please join us on Discord. Follow us on Instagram, Discord, on Twitch here, so you can see our live streams. We've got so many more live streams coming up for you. This is the last stream for us this weekend, but we've got AF3 back next week at Laguna Seca. AF4, the finale at Alton Park.